Hello guys, welcome to NameTech channel. My name is Nehemiah and I'm very much happy to have you on board. And so today we are going to learn Adobe Photoshop complete course for absolute beginners to advanced designers. And we are going by first discussing the basic Adobe Photoshop tools, and then we shall also discuss other Adobe Photoshop features like the content aware. We shall also talk about clip masking, layer masking, color grading. I also teach you how to add Google fonts to your operating system or to your Adobe Photoshop software. And then later we shall design a YouTube thumbnail. Then I shall design also several flyers. We shall design posters. We shall design landscape banners, Instagram posts, and such stuffs. And so guys, if it's your first time to learn to this channel, please take a second or two, click the subscribe button. That is to support me and also to support this channel that it may grow so that we may reach more people. And so I'm going to provide this Adobe Photoshop software, the pre-activated software, on my Telegram. So I'll provide the link there at the description and the comment section there. And so guys, once you open your Adobe Photoshop software for the first time, then you'll have this kind of window here. So we have some tools here at the top, and then I will also have some button here for the create new, and also another button here at the bottom for open. And so for me, let's first of all let me click on this open. Let me click on open, and then I want to place here some image, an image here, so that we may begin this course right away. So I want to add here an image like this one. Let me choose any image here. Let me choose this one. And so guys, once you open this file, now before you do anything in Adobe Photoshop, the first thing that you want to do is to ensure that your reset essentials. Remember that when you design anything in Adobe Photoshop, it usually save the preset or the settings, so that next time when you begin the project or any other project, it remembers what you used in the previous design. So it's always wise to reset essential. You can reset essentials by clicking on this window tab here, and then you're going to the workspace here, and then you go down here, and then you click on the reset essentials. And so now guys, you can see we have some tools here on your left hand side, and then we also have other features here at the right hand side of your Adobe Photoshop, and then here at the midst is the your workspace. And so guys, for you to understand these tools well, we'll be designing some stuff so that you may know how it works. But in a nutshell, this is the move tool, and this is the move tool. Then this is a rectangular marquee tool. But when you right click here, you can see you have other options like elliptical marquee tool, single row marquee tool. You have the single color marquee tool, and then you have the lasso tool. But when you right click, you have the polygonal lasso tool, magnetic lasso tool, and then we also have the object selection tool here, and then we have the the crop tool, but we also have the perspective crop tool, slice tool, and other tools here. And then we have the frame tool. We have the eyedropper tool. We have also this spot healing brush tool. We also have the the brush tool, the brush tool, and then this one is the clone stamp tool, and then this one is the history brush tool. This is the eraser tool. This is the gradient tool here. This is the gradient tool, and then we have also the blur tool. We also have the the dodge tool, the pen tool, the type tool, the type tool here, and then we also have the the path selection tool. And then here at the bottom we have the shape tool. Actually we have the rectangular tool, but when you right click, you can see we have the ellipse tool, we have the triangle tool, we have the polygon tool, we have the line tool, and then we have the custom tool, and then we also have here the the hand tool. We have the zoom tool here, and then we also have other items here at the bottom, and then we have this this stuff here. So this display the color at the foreground, and then that one behind display the color at the background. And so and then now on your right we have other features here. And so on your right we have other features here like you can see, first of all, let me begin here at the top. We can see we have the color, and then we have the color picker section here. We have the swatches, we have the gradient tool, we have the patterns, and then we have here the property tool, the adjustment tool, the library tool, and then guys, here at the bottom we have the the layers tool, we have the channels, we have the parts, and so, and then here now we have the layer. So guys, this is the most important part in Adobe Photoshop if you're a designer, because this is what matters on your design. So like in Adobe Photoshop, when you add a layer, it goes on top of each other. So this one at the bottom is the background, then when you add it, it goes on top of each other, until it to the foreground. I want us to begin this project right away, and the first thing that I want us to begin with is the understanding the content aware feature of Adobe Photoshop. And so I want us to remove this person here, and then I replace with another image here. And so let me add here another image. You go to the file, then you click on the open here, then the shortcut you can see here at the end, it is Ctrl+O or Command+O if you are using a Mac. And then I want to choose here any other image, like let me choose this one. Let me choose this image here, and then let me click on open. And then guys, you can see now we have two files here. We have this image, and then we also have this other image. And so now what I want us to do is to remove this image, here, and then we are going to replace with this other one. So to do that, I'm going to use here the lasso tool, and then now guys, you can select this guy. You can just select outside this person, just select it, left click, then drag until you select this person. Now once you have selected, then you're going to click on edit. Then you go to the fill. But now when you open your fill option, guys, you are going to have this kind of window here. And then by default mine is the content aware, but for your case it might be the background for background color, foreground color, but always ensure that it is the content aware. Then this other option, you just leave it the way it is. Color adaptation, you ensure that it is checked, the mode is normal, opacity is 100, then you do what, you click OK. And so guys, you can see that we have removed this subject here, this person here, and then I want us to remove this this outline, this line here. Let me try to zoom in. I don't know if you can see on your end. Let me try to zoom in. I don't know if you can see. And then you can see you have this selection here. I want us to remove. You can remove this line by going to the select here, then you go to the select. But guys, you can see that here at the end we have the shortcut, which is Ctrl+D or Command+D on Mac. So when you click on it, it's going to remove that line here. But let me undo, and then I use the shortcut. So I say that the shortcut is what, Ctrl+D to deselect. And then guys, you can see that we've removed that person here. And so I want us to replace it with another person, with this guy. And so to select this person, I'm going to use the object selection tool here. So I'm going to click on the object selection tool, then I'm going to click on this select subject here, and then Adobe Photoshop is going to use the AI to identify the edges, or to identify this person. And so guys, you can see that Adobe Photoshop tries to use the AI, artificial intelligence, to identify the edges of this person, but it's not always accurate. When you try to zoom in, you can see that perhaps there's some error somewhere, but this one is somehow good, but in some cases you can find that it has some errors. It has not selected very well, but you can add finer details, but for now let me just use it the way it is. So once you have selected this person, then you are going to click on the this move tool here. So this is called the move tool, as I told you earlier. Then you are going to click on this person, then you are going to drag. Then when you reach to this other tab, then you are going to do what, you are going to again drag down, then you are going to place it here. But then now you can see that the image is somehow big. We need to resize it. So we are going to use the transform tool, and then you can find the transform tool here. When you go to the edit, and then you go to where, to the transform, and then to the transform, then you go to the scale here. But then the shortcut is Ctrl+C to bring the transform tools. And so now I want us to resize it so that it may be, somehow small, a bit small. So you click on any on the corner. You click on the corner, then you do what, you drag down, you drag down. So it's going to resize this person until it becomes somewhat small. So now to save you can add finer details, but for the sake of tutorial I'm not going into deep, but in the as we go on, as we progress, we shall talk about these stuffs in detail. And so now if you want to save, you can save this. You go to the file, and then you do what, you go to the save, save here, then you save your image. You go to the output. Where is it? To the downloads. Remember the folder here is Photoshop files, and then I have the media sources, and then I have outputs. So I'm going to play this project there, at the outputs. So let me place it there. And so when you try to place it there, so Photoshop is going to bring you this kind of pop-up notification. So it's reminding you that you allow Adobe Photoshop to maximize your design for maximum compatibility. So you're going to ensure that this one is checked, but for me I'm going to click here for don't show again. I don't like this pop-up notification all the time. And then let me click on OK. And so I've saved it there, but remember this it's a PSD file. It's not a PNG or JPG or whichever file. This is just a Adobe Photoshop file. So if you want to have your PNG or any other format, image format, then you are going to click on the file, then you click on what, you click on export, then you click on export as. And so when you click on that export thing, then it's going to open here another window, and then here you are going to select the format of the image that you want. Remember the PNG is always a large file, and this one is perfect if you're working with the print media. So but you have other options like you choosing the JPG, GIF, this SVG, but this one is better for if you are doing vector vector stuffs. And so now I'm going to uncheck this one for transparency. I don't want any transparency, so I'm going to uncheck this. And then once it's done, then I'm going to click where I'm going to click to the export here, and then it's going to ask me the place where I want to export. So I'm going to export it where I'm going to export it here. So you click on export, then it's going to do what, it's going to export your image there. So once you open your file export, let's try and open and see. So once you open your file export, then you go to the Photoshop files, then to the outputs, then you are going to find what you are going to find this image. Let me try to do this. Let me try to view a large icon, and then you can see, guys, you have what, you have this image here. And so guys, I want us to talk about also clip masking. So I'm going to use here another image, another flower. So let me go to the flowers, actually to the to open. Let me go to the files, then I go to the open, and by the way you can also find the shortcut here is Ctrl+O. On Windows, on Mac I think it's on Mac is Command+O, and then I'm going to select here this image. But guys, you can see I have these images I've just pulled from the internet. They might contain some copyright issues, but remember this just for the sake of tutorial. I will not use it anywhere. After this tutorial I'll delete it. So let me choose any image here like this one. Let me just select this one, then I click open, and then I'm going to now to use what, I'm going to use the type tool. I want to use here type tool to mask it. So let me go to the type tool here at the bottom, just click on it, and then you choose the horizontal type tool. I always like using the horizontal type tool. And then here click once. You can as well drag, adjust the size of these fonts, like you can make it smaller, you can make it very small, or you can make it very big, or you can also change the font. You can change the font here. You can choose any fonts, but if you find that the font that you're looking for is not available here, I'm going to show you. I'll show you how to add the Google font to your Adobe Photoshop, especially the scripts. I always like using the script fonts. I'll show you how to add them in your Adobe Photoshop. But for this tutorial, let me just choose this one, and then let me try to increase the font size here. So this is perfect. And by the way, if you want to change the color, you can go to this icon here, then you click on it. Now if you're good with the CSS and your CSS, you can use the this value, like hexadecimal value. You can type in your hexadecimal value, or you can use the RGB or HSL values. Like if you want black, you can just type what 000, that is black. If you want a white color, you can use what FFF. You can use hexadecimal value like FF 6 times FFF. But now the goodness with the hexadecimal values nowadays, you can just type it thrice, and then it's going to give you the color. But the easiest way for for beginners is to use the color picker here. You can just select the color. If you want white, you go here the corner here, then you're going to select white. If you want black, then you go here at the bottom, you choose black. So let me go with but now remember, the color is not unnecessary here, because I'm going to use the masking here. So now let me let me click on click OK. So once you see that it's perfect, then you click OK. The color that you've choose is pleasing, awesome. And then perhaps let me try to show you another feature here in the type tool. So when you click on this part here, the toggle, the character and paragraph panel, when you click on it, then it's going to open you to give you another window. So to open here another window, another panel. So like if you find that for example, for me this text has reached the maximum, I cannot extend it, or I cannot extend the fonts, increase the fonts. So I'll go to this what I'm going to use this tool here that has the arrows here for horizontal. So when I drag it to the left and to the right hand side, you can see it increases it stretches the text. So and then I have this other one, it can make it can reduce the height of the text, or it can increase or it can reduce. And then it has character spacing. Where is it? Like this one, it gives this is the character spacing, and then this one is the line spacing. But now this works if you have more than two lines. So you're going to use what the line spacing, and then we have the fonts, and then we have these other stuffs here. But then you can make the text strong, you can make the text italic, you can make the text capital letter. So we have cool features here at the bottom. You can delete this text, or you can draw the line between the text. So so this what this part is all about here. So once you feel that it's perfect, then click on OK. And then guys, I said that this one we are going to discuss what clipping mask. So now the first thing that you want to do is to remove this lock here at the bottom, to ensure that the background is not locked. So for you to do some stuff on it. So you just right click, then you're going to do what you're going to duplicate layer. You're going to click on the duplicate layer, and then perhaps you can rename it, but let me go with this one. And then let me now clear the background here at the bottom, so that I may have only these two files here, those that don't have logs. So what you are going to do now here, now ensure that your this background image is at the top. So make it overlap this type to text tool. And guys, as I told you earlier, that this layer section is the most important part. So like it matters on the arrangement of your layers. So like you can see, when I drag this background here at the top, it overlaps what the text. But when I drag the text here at the top, you can see the text now will be visible. So this arrangement is now very key, and the most important part of on Adobe Photoshop that you need to understand. So now let me make this text here at the bottom. And so now click now on this, ensure that you've selected this background copy here at the top. So click on it, and then go to the layer here, to the layer tab. Then go down until you find what clipping mask, and you can see that we have the shortcut, which is Alt Control plus G. So or option command then G. So let me click on it. Then guys, you can see that this text, it is we have done clip masking. And by the way, you can do what you can let me click on the move tool, and then you can do what you can play around with the position of the flower, so that it may be perfect, so that it may please you. And so guys, once you are done with the with your layer masking, then the next thing now is to add the background here. And so guys, Adobe Photoshop usually use these check boxes to show you that these are transparent background. So now to add the background color here, you're going here at the bottom to this icon that has a plus symbol to add a new layer. So you're going to click on it, and then you're going to select the layer. And so to your layer selected, then I'll go to the edit here, and then to the fill, and then ensure that you have you choose the color that you want. You click on the colors, and then you're going to select the color that you want. Like I like using white, or let me try which color. Let me try a yellow color, or which color, I don't know the perfect color. Let me just choose white. Let me go with white, and then click OK, and then drag this image here at the bottom. Drag it here at the bottom, and then guys, you can see that this background is now white. And so now to export is the same procedure. You just go to the file, and then you go to the export, then to the export as, then you click on it. And so when you click on export, then you are going to have this window, and then you're going to select the file type that you want, file format. I'm going with the PNG, and then I'm going to remove this transparency background, and then I'm going to do what I'm going to leave everything the way it is. Then I click on export. I click on export. So when you click on export, then it's going to ask you where you're going to place this project. So I'm going to place it at the downloads, but specifically at the these outputs here, and then I'm going to place it there. So let me click save, so that it may go there. So when you open that folder here on your file explorer, you'll find this image. And so guys, the other thing that I want us to talk about is the color grading in Adobe Photoshop. So I'm going to select also another image. Perhaps let me try to clear this to remove these images here. Let me just remove them. And then let me add another image here. Click on open file, then I click on open, then I select another flower here, and then let me choose this one. Let me choose this one. Then I click here. I click at the open. And so guys, discussing color grading, I want to use this image here, and I want us to begin with the automatic features here in Adobe Photoshop, like the auto tone, the auto contrast, auto color. So now the first thing that I want to do is now to duplicate this layer. Now I'm going to use the shortcut. The shortcut is Control plus J. But perhaps let me just right click, then do to duplicate the layer, and then let me say begin with auto tone. Let me rename it and give it auto tone, and then I'll do click OK. Click OK. Now go to the image here, and then I do click on the auto tone. Guys, you can see it has very minor changes. You can hardly see. So when you click before and then after, it's almost similar. So let's try also another item, like the auto color. It is it's auto contrast. Let's begin with the auto contrast. So let me click on Control plus J, or let me just duplicate here on the layer, and then I give it which name? Let me say auto contrast, auto contrast, and then I click OK. And then now here, let me make this layer to be at the top so that it may overwrite everything. And then now to your auto contrast selected, then now go to the image, then I click on the auto contrast. And so guys, you can see also the auto contrast also this has very minor changes. Let's try also another feature, automatic feature, which is auto color. So for auto color, let me duplicate, then I click duplicate layer, and then let me say auto color. So now this is the first thing. If you are doing color grading, this is the first features that this is the first thing that you ensure that you do. So now to this auto color, let me make it at the top, bring it at the top. And so now to your auto color here selected, now go to the image again, then I click on the auto color, and then guys, you can see it has very minor details, other features here for color grading manually. So I'm going to use here to use another image, like let me go to the file here, then click on open, and then I'm going to choose which flower. Let me just choose this one, this flower, then I click open. And then guys, you can see you have this flower here. So let me click on the adjustment layer here, to the adjustment tab here, panel, and then now for auto, we have some features here, the brightness, contrast, and then this we have also the levels, you have the curves, you have the exposure, you have the vibrance, you have the hue and saturation, you have the color balance, you have the black and white, you have the photo filter, color lookup. We have other features here. So I want us to begin by this one, identifying the brightness. So the brightness, let's try to see the brightness of the color. You can see when you adjust the brightness, the color becomes more bright, very bad. And then when you add it to dark, so it's going to do what your image is going to be somehow darker. And then I did the contrast, you can see. Let me just make it at the 100. I like it. And so guys, let's go to another thing. Now let's talk about the levels. Now here you have the histogram, then you can adjust about the brightness and such light, dark, brightness or darkness. So you can play around with this one, but this is not the perfect image for for teaching this stuff, but you can see what it does. And then now the other thing that I want us to talk about is the hue and saturation. By the way, this is the most perfect thing that I always like in Adobe Photoshop. So when you first open it, and then it's going, by default it is the master. So when you drag this tool here to the left or right, then it's going to change the color for the entire flower here. So it's going to drag this to adjust the colors for the entire flower. But now this is not the professional way to do it. So to do it in a professional way, you are going to select each color. So like if I want to change this red color, so purple or whichever color here it is, so you go to the master, and then if it's red, you select on red, and then I do what, you can drag it where you want it to be. So like you can make this the saturation action. But now let me try to change the color. Like let me give it which color is perfect. Let me give it let me give it this color. Let me give it this color. Then perhaps you can increase you can reduce or increase the saturation, and then the lightness. This one I don't use it anymore. This lightness part, this is not perfect for me, so I just play around with the saturation and the hue, and then it's perfect for you. So I think that this one is perfect. And then you go to another color like greens. I don't know if you have greens here, so let me try drag and see. And then guys, you can see you have some greens here. Like if you want to make it to change it to deeper or to a greener color, you just go here and then you try to increase the saturation. So increase the saturation. I think now it's now green. And then perhaps you try another thing like let me try I don't know if you have yellows here. Let me drag and see. Yeah, guys, you can see you have the yellow colors there. So you can let me try to make it green. Let me make it green, or yeah, let it be green somewhere. Then perhaps let me increase the saturation here. Yeah, let it be the way it is. And so guys, you can see it is very, very perfect. But now let me try another image here so that you may see very well. To export it, guys, the same procedure. I'm not going to export it, but let me open another file here. Perhaps let me try this one. Let me choose this one, and then I click open. And then now to your adjustment panel, click on it, then at the hue and saturation. And I guess you remember I told you that once you open it, it's going to be the master. So this now by default you can play around with the colors, but I say that this is not the professional way of color grading. The good way is to select each color that you want to change the color. So like for greens or yellows, let me go with the yellows. So like you can increase the saturation, you can reduce, you can see guys. Perhaps let me try to make it more brighter. Let me try to make it more brighter, and then I select also greens, and then I try to play around with the colors that you want, and then I can increase the saturation, and then I do it, make it more green, and so, and then I don't know which color we have here. Perhaps I don't know if we have the mangatas. Let me try to see and see. We don't have it. And then let me try the reds. Reds, I don't know if we have it. Yeah, we have it. And so guys, this is how you can simply color grade your stuff. So once you see that it's perfect, then you just just click on the file, and then you go where you go to the export. You go to the export, and then you do what you are going to save your file. Remember, you select the image that you want, the format of the image that you want, like if it's a PNG, if it's a JPG, GIF, SVG. So you are going to select the image that you want, and then for me I also remove this background, and then I click on export on export. So when you click on export, then it's going to open here the file explorer. So when you click on export, then it's going to open the file explorer. Then I'm going to the downloads, Photoshop, then outputs. Let me just click on let me just save the image, like let me say color graded flower. And by the way guys, if you want to know more about color grading, then the best software for you is Adobe Lightroom. Adobe Lightroom is an extension of Adobe Photoshop, where you can color grade your stuffs very, very well. And so guys, I want us to go to another stuff here, designing a YouTube thumbnail. And before I do anything, let me make sure that I have the correct fonts that I'll be using. So you can go through the fonts here. You can go where here. You just click on this drop down here. Then you are going to see these kind of fonts here. Then if you find that you don't have the font that you have, that you need to use, and then I'm going to show you how to add your fonts to your Adobe Photoshop. And so now to add the font to your Adobe Photoshop, basically when you add the font to your operating system, it will update automatically to Adobe Photoshop. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So just go to the internet, to your browser. And so now once your browser is open, then here the search bar, you're going to type what? You're going to type Google Fonts. Just type Google Fonts. Google Fonts here it is. Click on the Google Fonts, and then do what, choose this one, this first one, fonts.google.com. Click on this link. And so once you open your fonts page, then you're going to have these fonts here, the these Google fonts. They are the fonts of the same family, the sans serif. So you're going to select the font that you want. But for me, let me just type the script to go specifically to what I want. So I'm going to type what, script font, the handwritten fonts, script, and then I'm going to select the font that I want. So let me just go through them, and then the font that pleases me, it is this one. Let me just click now this one. Let me click on this one, the Imperial, and then when you click on it, then you are going to do what, you're going to select here. So select this type. So I've selected that type, that these are this type, and then what I do next is to add also another font there. So let me do what, let me return back, and then I do what, select another font, another script font, like what, let me choose this one, and then I do what, select the one that you want. So I'm going to select this one, and then for me, let me choose also this one. Let me choose this font here, and then I do what, let me select it, and then I do what, so once you find that you have the font that you want, you've selected the font that you want, then you're going to click on download all. So it's going to download these fonts. And so once you have downloaded the font, then you click on open the file here. And so now to these fonts that have an extension of TTF, just click on it, and then do what, here at the top you can see you have the option of installing. So just click on the install, and then give it time to install. So once it is installed, the button will turn to what, to gray. So let's install also another another font. So let's go to the Petite, and then again to this file that has an extension of TTF. Then I just click on it, and then I do what, click on install. Then I give it time to install until it turns to grayish, to gray. And then also we have another font here for Pinion script. And then to this file, just double click, or click on it, then I click on the install. So once it is installed already, it is available on Photoshop on your OS and also to your Adobe Photoshop. So for example, let's find if these fonts are available on our Photoshop. We have the Imperial script. So let me go and search for it. Now to your Adobe Photoshop. Now when you go to the fonts section here, and then search for it was Imperial script, then again you can see that this font is available here, the Imperial script. And so guys, I want us to begin our project by designing a YouTube thumbnail. So now go to the home, these are home part here, click on the home. And so once you have this window, then I click on the create new here, and then you can give it a name here, and the title, the name, like you can give it, let me say YouTube, let me say what, YouTube thumbnail, YouTube thumbnail. And then I always like using the pixels. So I'm going to do what, I'm going to select the pixel, and I'm going to remember, if it is a YouTube thumbnail, the aspect ratio is always at the 16:9. 16:9. The width is 16, 16. Then the height is a ratio of 9. But I always like using this one, 1920. So the width is 1920. Then the height, I'm going to give it what, 1080. And so guys, I always like giving it the higher pixels, so that when you zoom in, it may not have the pixelation issues. And then the resolution, you ensure that it is at the 300, the highest value here, so 300 pixel per inch, and then all these other stuff just leave it the way it is, and then you do it, click on create. And then guys, you can see that your workspace is somehow big, so you might want to do it to zoom out. So you can use this you can use the zoom tool here. So when you click once, it's going to do it to zoom in, but now when you click here at the minus here, and then you click once, it's going to do it, it's going to zoom out. So guys, you can see it is perfect. Let me zoom in a bit, but then guys, I'm going to use the shortcut here, control, then subtract the minus to zoom out, and then to zoom in is control, then plus the addition symbol here on your keyboard. So this is now the shortcut on zooming in and out. And so guys, let me work on this workspace here, and then but guys, I recommend that before you design anything in Adobe Photoshop, ensure that you work on the wireframe, so that when you begin the design, you don't waste a lot of time. And so now I want us to begin by designing to create a rectangle tool here. I'm going to create my YouTube thumbnail, the one that I'll use to upload this video that I'm recording here. So I'm going to click on this rectangle tool, then I'm going to do it, I'm going to select a rectangle here. I'm going to draw a rectangle like this to this end. Then I'm going to do it, I'm going to leave it, and then do it, let me give it a color. So Photoshop is the Photoshop color is somewhat bluish, so let me choose a dark blue color, or which color? Let me choose blue color. I think this is perfect. Let me see my Photoshop. It is dark blue, yeah. Dark blue color. Let me just click on it, and then this is perfect for me. And then the outline, remember, is the space around your rectangle. So the outline is found here at the bottom. Where is it? And now ensure that you are in this ensure that you are in this rectangle tool. You ensure that you are in the rectangle tool. Then out the stroke, this stroke now is like the outline. Let me give it let me give it black color. Let me just give it black color. You remember the symbol for black, the hexadecimal value for black is just 0006 times, or you can use the color picker here, and then you do what, you click on OK. So now this is the outline. And then you can resize the window. You can adjust the the pixel or the thickness of that outline, like you can give it even a 12, or perhaps let me give it 15. And then guys, you can adjust the thickness of the outline, or the thickness of the stroke. And then the color, I said it is black. The color is black. And then the thickness. So you click on this one, and then you are going to, you can see when you give it the highest value, then it's going to be very thick, and then when you give it a very low value, it's going to be thin. So I'm going to work with this one. So once you are done, then you click enter or return on Mac. And so guys, I think this background is good for me. So now the next thing that I'm going to do now is to add I'm going to add my logo here. So to add my logo, let me go to the file here, and then let me go to the to open. Then I'm going to my second partition, then to the logos and icons, and then I'm going to select you can see I have two kind of name tag logos here. I have the spherical one, and then I also have the the square one. So let me choose the circular one, the spherical one, and then I'm going to do it. Let me now go to the move tool, click on the move tool, and then I'll drag. When you reach to the tab for your design, to where your project is, then drop down, just drag it down, and then once it's there, and then you can use the transform tools to add some fine adjustment, like you can use the transform tool now to resize, perhaps to resize or to reduce the size or to increase the size, and then or you can use the arrow keys to place it where you want it to be. And so guys, once you see that it is at the right position, then you click on this tick, or click enter or return on mark. Then you are going to tell the Photoshop that I'm done with this stuff here. So now the next thing I want us to add these are the outer glow on this this logo. So I'm going to click on the FX here at the bottom, the FX, and then it's going to bring me some stuffs here. Then I'm going to choose the outer glow here. So I'm going to choose the outer glow, and then you select the color. So the color, you can choose any color here, like let me choose a light blue color. Is this light blue? Let me choose light blue color. I don't know. I think this is good. So once you see that it's perfect, then click OK. And then now the opacity, I'm going to give it 100%. Remember, the opacity is like the transparency. And then now the next thing now is to increase the size. I'm going to increase it perhaps to let me give it 49 or 50. And then at the range, I'm going to give it 0. But now the size, let me try to reduce it to 21. And so this is perfect for me. And then once you see that it's good, it pleases you, then you do what? You click OK. And so guys, now the next thing now is to add some text here, to add some text like graphic designing with Adobe Photoshop. So let me click on the type tool here. Click on the type tool, then I click once, and then guys, let's resize. You can see that when we used when we were working on the layer mask or on clip masking, we increased the the fonts. That's why it's remembering what we used the previous design. Let me try to reduce the size, or perhaps even give it let me just give it something like 50 pixel. And then I do click somewhere here, and then first of all, choose the font that you are going to use here. So let me choose any, like this one, Arial. Let me just use let me choose this Cambria, or it's not pleasing to me. Let me choose any like Georgia, I think. And then guys, let's now do let's open this one, and then let me resize let me increase, reduce, this one is okay. And then let's reduce the size, let me give it I think this one is perfect. So now guys, I want us to type here I want us to type here something like let me say graphic design. Let me say graphic designing. Let me try to increase the size, the font size, the font size to, I think this one is perfect. This one is good for me. And then now the next thing, now let me add another text for graphic design now with Adobe Photoshop. So let me also click once, and then I'm going to say let me say graphic design. Then here let me say with and then click enter, and then again click once, and then let me say Adobe Photoshop. Let me add a break tag here, line break here, and then I'm going to say also let me create another text here at the bottom for but then I'm going to use the rectangle tool here, tool, and then I'm going to do I'm going to add the the cover. I want to make draw a rectangle here, just draw a rectangle here, and then the color, let's give it what, the color, let's give it white, you know, the fill color. I'm going to give it what, let me give it white. Let me try to adjust this panel so that you may see very well. Let me adjust it to the top, and then I guess I want to make it, you know, spherical, you know, to have, you know, the rounded corners. So I'm going to click on this one, and this one, and then I'm going to click on this one, the second one. Then let me give it 30 pixel. Let me go with the 30. Let me go with the 30 pixel, 30. So let me go with the 30 pixel, and then or perhaps let me give it 40. Let me give it 40. Let me give it 40 pixel, and then I click what, you click enter, and then you're going to have this kind of what, the rounded what, the rounded stubs, rounded rectangle. So click enter, and then now here I want us to add what, a type tool here, to use the type tool here, and then let me say let me first of all change the color to let me give it black or a blue. Let me give it blue, the color for Photoshop. Let me give it a blue color, a darker blue color. So let me choose this one, then I click OK, and then let me try to reduce the, you know, the, let me reduce it to 100%, or let it be the way it is, and then let me select the font. So the font you can use any, like this one, and then let me say what, let me say start learning. So let me say start learning, and then perhaps what I'm going to do, let me do what, let me change what, let me make it bold. Let me change it to bold, make it bold, and then do what, resize. So let me just make it be there, and then I click OK. Once you feel that it's perfect, and then now guys, here this text I want to change it to different font. Then I'm going to choose what, I'm going to choose this font here. Now with this Adobe Photoshop, let me change it to let me increase the font size. Let me increase the font size and make it very big. And then perhaps I'm going to use what, I'm going to use this font type, this thicker fonts here for impact. And then let me place it there, and then let me try to increase the size. So I think this one is perfect. And then so once you feel that it's perfect, then do what, but now this one width, let me try to reduce the size. So let me reduce the size to what, let me reduce the size to a very smaller one, and then I place it there. And then guys, I think this one is, you know, perfect, or yeah, this one is perfect for me. And then I guess perhaps let's try to add what, to add some dots here. Let me add some dots here. You can use a star or anything that you feel will make your design, you know, more decorative. So let me type what, let me type 3 dots, 1 2 3, and then I do what, select all, and then I increase the font size. So increase the font size, and then the color here, let me change it to give it a black color, or let me give it blue. By the way, let me use what, let me use the dropper, you know, eyedropper here to select the color, and then I do what, click OK, and then perhaps let me increase the font size, and then do what, let me reduce the character spacing. So where is the character spacing? I think this one, it is this one, and then I do what, paste it there, and then I click OK. And then guys, I think now this is now our first design. I think it's perfect, it's complete. So now the next thing now is to export. To export, you know how to export, guys. The same procedure, just go to the file here, and then you go to the export, then you export as, and then guys, you are going to select, I'm going to choose a PNG file format, and then I'm going to remove this transparency. I'm going to remove the transparency here, and then I do it once it's done, then I click on export, and then where to your downloads, to my downloads, actually to my downloads, then to the Photoshop files, and then to the outputs. Then I'm going to place it there. So let me just save it there, and then when you open your file explorer, then you are going to find what you're going to find that design there. And so guys, I think this thumbnail is now complete. Remember that you can add more details, but I'm assuming some of you are beginners. I don't want to complicate you with a lot of stuff, but remember, when you do practice with these stuff, then you are going to be a professional designer. But now I want us to design a flyer here. So let me click on let me go to this home part, and then then I'm going to click on the create new, and then where I'm going to give it a name, like the project's name is going to be flyer first, flyer, let me say flyer 1. Remember, flyer and poster, they are almost similar, but now the flyer is smaller, and then the poster is a large file. And then now guys, I'm going to change the measurement for this flyer. I'm going to use let me use the width, let me give it 14, and then the height, let me give it 200, let me give it 2000, actually 2000. So this is a flyer, and then you ensure that this the resolution it is at the 300. Then you do you click on create, and then now guys, the first thing that I do, let me reset essentials to the workspace. Then I reset essentials. And so guys, now this is the workspace for our project. So now I want us to begin. Let me begin by creating some rectangle here, and then I'll give it a color. So let me click on the rectangle tool, and then I'm going to do I'm going to create a rectangle here. I'm going to create a rectangle like this. I think this one is let me create a rectangle like this. Then I'm going to give it a color. So color I'm going to use red. Let me use red color this time. And then the stroke, I'm going to give it none. So to give it the stroke none, you use this symbol here. So when you click on this symbol, you can see when you have it says no color. So actually let me give it no color. And then I want us to create also another rectangle here at the bottom. So let me let me create a similar rectangle like this, and then I let me open another image, but before that, let me remove this other section so that it may not waste our space here. Let me just let me remove clear everything here. Let me just remove. I don't want to save it. And then this this logo, let me just remove. And so guys, I want us to add here also another image. So to add the image, let me go to the file, then let me go to open, and then I'm going to the downloads where my images are, then to the Photoshop files, to the media sources, and then I'm going to select this boy. So I'm going to use to select this boy. Then I'm going to do it to your move tool. You ensure that you are in the move tool. You click on the move tool, then I drag this boy, drag until you reach to where your design is. See that this image is very, very big. We need to resize it, and then we are going to use the transform tools. And then you can go to the edit, and then you click on the transform, then you go to the scale, but next time we shall be using the shortcut, which is just Ctrl+T to bring out the transform tool. Let me try to zoom out first. Then let me drag and make it very, very small. Let me drag. By the way, you ensure that this link is now selected for width and the width and the height, so that when you drag, it may go in that ratio. Remember, when you unlink, so when you try to adjust, you can see the image becomes distorted. So this option is not perfect for me. So ensure that you link it, ensure that it is linked, and then let me try to zoom in now. Let me try to do it. Let me try to zoom in. Then let me do it. Let me select this boy. Let me try to make it at least somewhat big. So let it be in that position. Then once you feel that it's perfect, then you are going to do it. You're going to click on the tick, this tick here, and then now here I want us to add some text here at the top. So to your type tool, select your to click to your type tool, then I click here once, and then reduce the font size. Reduce the font size, and then I change the font type. So I'm going to use that. Let me choose any. You can select the font that pleases you, but let me choose that one, and then let me say what, and let me say missing boy. By the way, let me choose another font. Let me choose this impact font. I find it is perfect for me. And then let me try to increase the font size. Let me increase the font size, and then do what, character spacing. Let me try to increase it again. So the character spacing, let me give it what, 100. Let me give it 80, and then perhaps let me increase the length. Let me increase the length of the image, and then I do what, drag it to the right position, and then I click tick once you feel that it is perfect. And then let me add also some minor text here at the bottom. Let me first of all select another font type. So let me select another font like this one. Let me select this font, then let me do what, let me drag, reduce the size further, and then let me say what, let me say a cry. Let me say a cry for help, for what, for a handsome boy. So let me reduce the size. Let me reduce this one. Let me just reduce to 100%. Then let me reduce the font size further. The font size here, let me reduce it further, and then perhaps let me change the font type. I don't know, I see the font, they are not pleasing. Let me choose Arial type, and then reduce further. Let me reduce further the font size, and then let me increase the stretch of the fonts, and then perhaps let me try to increase further. And then guys, I think this one is perfect for me. So now let me click. Once you feel that it's perfect, then you click on OK. And so guys, I want to add some text here on your right, so that we may describe how the boy looked like. So I'm going to select here the what, I'm going to select the font, the color, and then for the color, let me give it black. Let me choose this time black. Let me give it black. Black is 0000, and then do what, select to your type tool selected, then create a rectangle here. Just click and then drag, and then place where your text you want it to end. So my text will end here. And then now guys, I want us to create some text here. So let me just remove this text. So let me select all first, and then I clear everything. And then now here, let me say what, let me Abraham, and then the first thing, let me say Abraham, and then I click enter to create a line break. And then let me say skin color. Let me say skin color, skin color or skin tone, I don't know. And then let me say what, let me say a white. Is it white? Let me say white. And then let me say dress. Let me say age. Let me say age. Let me give it let me say this boy is 6 years, I guess 6 years. 6 years. So age, I'm going to give it 6 years, and perhaps let me say what, let me say let me say clothes, or let me say dressing code, dressing, let me say, or you can give it any name, let me just give it anything. Dressing code, let me say what, let me say shirt, a shirt. This is a gray shirt, it's a gray shirt, and what, and a brown you don't know, and a brown trouser, and a brown trouser. Then let me, first of all, let me try to reduce the font size so that our text may fit here. So let me try to reduce the font size. Sorry. So let me try to reduce the font size here, and then so that it may be, you know, very, very small. So for Abraham, I'm going to give it what, let me give it what, let me give it a red color. Remember our theme is now red. So let me choose the eyedropper here. You click on Alt, then I click once, then I'm going to select this color, and then let me increase the size here. Increase the size of Abraham, and then now for color, let me give it what, let me make the text to be what, to be bold, and then now guys, I want us to change also this color. For skin color, let me give it what, this color, which is, you know, this color. Click on the eyedropper, Alt, and then Alt, and then click on the color that you want it to resemble, then I click OK, and then do it. For edge also, let me try to do it, let me try to change the color, and give it what, give it red, and then I do it, click OK. Also for dressing code, let me do this, let me click, and then I click on the color, then I click Alt or Option on Mac, then I do it, click on the color that you want it to be, and then I do it, click OK. And so this text I want to increase the size, the font size. So let me try to increase the font size. We can increase the font size by doing what, by so ensure that you have selected very well, you have selected properly, and then I do what, increase the font size. So I increase the font size until it pleases you, and then I click OK. And so guys, I want us to draw a line here, for a line here to split the text, and also some stuff here at the bottom. So I'm going to this rectangle tool, and then I'm going to right click, and then I'm going to click on the line tool. Now to your line tool, just click on the shift, then drag it to the left, then it's going to draw a perfect line. Remember, when you don't draw, it might not be perfect. When you don't click on shift, it may not be a straight line, but when you click on shift, then I drag it to the right, then it's going to draw at a perfect line. Then perhaps let me try to increase the, you know, or to increase the thickness. Let me increase the thickness here, and then I think this one is perfect. Then I'm going to click on the color, then I'm going to choose this one, this color, red, the color red, and then also for the stroke, let me give it a red. So once you feel that it's perfect, then go to your type tool, and then I do what, create some lorem stuffs there, or you can just type in your text, and then I do what, just paste it there. And then now I want us to add here the price for the one who will find this boy, the award or the money that will be given to the person that will find the boy. So I'm going to click on what, on this line tool, Then I'm going to select what? I'm going to select the rectangle tool now, and then I'm going to select what? I'm going to select here, actually draw a rectangle, and then the fill, let it be black this time. Then once you find that it's perfect, then you click enter, and then now I'm going to click on the type tool, and then here I'm going to type what? I'm going to type, first of all, let me increase the font size. Let me increase the font size here, and then I'm going to say what? Here let me say US dollars. By the way, let me change first of all the color. Let me give it what? White. I'm using the hexadecimal value. So let me click OK. Then let me say let me give it let me say let me say $200 to the one who will find this ball. $200 reward. The one who will find the ball will be rewarded $100. Then let me change the font type to be impact. Then perhaps let me increase the font size, and then so the next thing that now that I want us to add here is the how to reach this person, the person looking for this ball. So let me add a text there, and then let me say call or text with any information about the ball. I remember this just a demo, for the sake of tutorial. It's not that this ball is lost, but just for the sake of tutorial. And then you can add the text now, the number here, and then for number you can give it 1 2 3 your number, your telephone number 4 5 6 how many numbers, 7 8 9 0 9 0. Then let me increase the font size, and then yeah, this is perfect. I think this one is perfect, but then this color is not perfect to me. Let me change it to black. Let me give it black color. Let me give it black color, and then I click OK. And so guys, I forgot to add here reward, so let me add D, and then by the way, let me make it at the center, the text to be aligned at the center. Then let me drag it to this position so that it may be correctly positioned. So I think this is perfect. I think this design is now perfect. You can add more details by your own, but I think for me this one is perfect for the sake of tutorial. Then now the next thing now is to export. To export, you are going to the files here. You go to the files, and then you click on the export here. Then I'll go to the export as, and then I export as what? I'm going to export as a as a PNG file. So to the PNG file selected, then I'm going to remove the transparency. And then the color that will be filled with is the white color. So now the next thing now is to click on the export button here. Once you click on the export button, then you go to where you want it to be, to your output to be. So I'm going to the Photoshop files, then to the output, and then I'm going to place this image here, and then I'm going to say what it is flyer 1. So let me just save it there. And so now once you open your file explorer, then you're going to find that design there. And so guys, I want us to create also another flyer so that we may perfect on our scale. So I want us to create also another flyer here. So let me go to the to what? Let me first of all clear this. Let me go to the home, and then I'm going to create new. To the create new, then I'm going to do what? I'm going to say what? Let me give it what? Let me say flyer 2. Flyer, is it flyer? Should be flyer 2. Then I do what? Click on OK. Click on create. Then you're going to have this workspace here. Then the first thing that you do is to reset essential. You go to the window, then workspace, then to reset essentials. And then now the first thing that I want us to do, let me add here a text. Before I do that, let me add what? Let me add a rectangle first of all. Let me create a rectangle here. Let me create a rectangle. So let me create this kind of rectangle. Let me create this kind of rectangle. And so guys, I want us to make this triangle at the top here to be rounded. So to do that, let me unlink this section here. Let me unlink it, and then let me just type it manually, like let me say something like let me say 200 by 200, 200 by 200, 200. So I think this is, or let me give it 400. Let me just give it 400 by what? By 400 by 400. Then you click enter. Then you are going to have this kind of you are going to have this spherical what? Actually rounded top. And then now here I want to reduce the opacity here. So to reduce the opacity, guys, you can when you go to this at the bottom, on your bottom left, guys, you can see you have what? You have the opacity section here. So you can reduce the opacity by typing, or you can use this drop down here, this tool here. Then you are going to do what? You are going to reduce the opacity, and the opacity you can reduce it to any value you want. And then let me try to increase the size here. And so guys, now once you feel that it's okay, then you click what? Enter or return on mark. And so now the next thing now is to add what? To add a photo here. So to add the photo, I'm going to the file here, to the file. Then I'm going to click on open. Then I'm going to select any photo. So let me choose any photo here, like let me choose this person, this guy, and then I click open. And so guys, I want us to remove this this person here. So the easiest way to do, the quickest way to remove this person, or to copy or to remove this person, just click on the object selection tool here. Then I do it, click on the select subject here at the top. Then give it time to select. And so guys, once you have selected your subject, then click on the move tool here, and then do it, drag this person to flyer 2 here, and then once you are there, then do it, just drag it down, drag down, and then do it, drop there. So you can find that this image is very big. Let me try to zoom out first of all. Then Control plus T to bring the transform tool. Control plus T actually, to bring the transform tool. Then I want us to resize this person so that he may fit in that box. So let me just drag resize the person to be very, very small, and then do it. And so guys, I want us to add here a text here at the top for happy birthday. So let me go to the text tool, then select the font that you want to use. Then I'm going to select what? I'm going to select this one, this Imperial script, or you can choose any font that you like. And then I'm going to do what? I'm going to click once. And then let me ensure that I'm here. Let me ensure that my text are aligned in the left hand side. And then now the color, let me give it what? Let me give it red. And then here let me just remove, and then let me begin typing. And so guys, you can just type what? You can just type happy birthday, happy birthday, and then select all. And then guys, let me change some settings here. Let me remove what? Let me remove this this what? A double T here, the caps, to make the text to be caps, in a caps lock. So let me now try to increase the size here. Let me increase the size, and then I do it. Let me place it there, and then I do it. Let me just save it, but it's not perfect. Or what I'm going to do now next, let me add what? Let me add some shadow. So to add some shadow, you're going to click on the FS. Then I'm going to click on the drop shadow. And then for drop shadow, I'm going to choose which color is perfect. I think black might be perfect. So let me increase the size, increase the font size, and then perhaps the opacity, let me increase to 100. Then the spread let it be at 1%. Then at the distance, let it remain the way it is. And then now what is let me reduce the size. So let me reduce the size to be 21 pixel. Then let me do it. Let me click on save. And then here at the bottom, let me also add add a text. And so guys, I want us to add some text here at the bottom. So to add the text now, here I'm going to use the text tool, the type tool. And then here at the bottom, let me try to do it. Let me try to zoom in so that you may see what we are going to design. And then let me change the text to horizontal type tool. And then here, let me say what can I say? Let me say a call. Let me say a call for. Let me say a call for celebration. And then let me select, and then I change the font. So the font I'm going to choose, the font I'm going to use, let me use this area. And then let me reset the font, let me reduce the font size. And then let me make the text to be thick, actually to be strong. And then what is, so let me try to drag it or increase the length. And then let me say a call for celebration. And then here perhaps at the bottom, let me say congratulations. Let me say congratulations. And then I select, and then I reduce the size. So reduce the size. And then now here, and so guys, I want us to draw a line here at the bottom. So to do that, I'm going to use the line tool here at the bottom. And then let me click shift, and then drag it to the right so that we may draw a perfect line. And then now the fill color, let me give it red again. So the fill color, let me give it red. And then what else? The stroke, I'm going to give it red. And perhaps let's increase the let me make it 3 pixel. 3 pixel. Let me give it a 3 pixel. Then click enter once you feel that it's perfect. But perhaps this text, these are text here. Let me give it black color. Let me change the color to a black. So let me just remove the color to black. Then I click OK. So you're going to have a black color here. And then or perhaps let me change the color, all of the colors to be black here at the bottom. So the color, let me give it black. But black is not pleasing at all. Let me give it this color. And then do it, or perhaps let me add some emboss and stuff. So let me click on the FX, then I click bevel and emboss. So once you click on it, now you can do it. You can first of all you can change the depth. You can increase the size of your bevel, and then perhaps soften, don't touch it. And then do it. I think this one is perfect opacity. I'm going to reduce to 20 pixel. So I think this one is perfect, guys. So once you feel that it's good, then you click on OK. And then guys, we have designed a second flyer. So what we are going to do, a second post actually. So what we are going to do, I click on the files, then I go to the export, then export as. And so I select PNG, then I remove what transparency, then I click on this export, and then I'll go to the downloads. I'm going to the downloads, then I go to the Photoshop files, then to the outputs. Then I'm going to do it. I'm going to place this image, this poster there. So let me just save it there. Yes, let's design what? Let's design an Instagram post, but perhaps it might be the last, the last item that we are going to design, because I feel like I'm tired. So let me go to this this home, and then I'm going to do it. I'm going to create a new file, and then the Instagram post it is always what a square, I guess square. So let me say Instagram post, let me say Instagram post. Then I say that it's always squared, so let me give it this one, 1080 by 1080 by 1080. So 1080, so let me say 1080 by 1080. Then the resolution, leave it at 300. Then you are going to click on the create project. Okay, so the next thing that you want to do now is to reset essential. First of all, go to the workspace, then do it, click on the reset essentials, and so let's duplicate it. Then go to the shift to the FX, then click on the pattern overlay. You can use the gradient overlay, or you can use the pattern overlay. Let me use the pattern overlay, and then I'm going to use these trees here, these trees, and then I click on OK. You click OK, and then guys, I want us to add some images here. So let me do it. Let me go to the let me open a file here. Let me go to the open file, and then you're going to select an image. Like let me choose this one for graduation. Let me choose it, then I click open. Let me click open. So once your image is opened, then I go to the move tool, then I click on the object on the image, then I go to the Instagram post here to this project, then I place it there, and then Ctrl+T to bring the transform tool, and then I want us to resize it further so that it may be small, very small. So I think this size is perfect for me. Then I want us to add what? I want us to add the outer glow, the outer glow. So let's go to the FX again, then I go to the outer glow here, and then I do what? The same way. I'm going to choose what? I'm going to choose white. I'm going to choose what? I'm going to choose white. So I'm going to use the hexadecimal value for white. Then I do what? Click OK. Click on OK, and then perhaps let me reduce the size to, I think, so the size, let me I think this one is perfect. So the next thing that I'm going to do now is to duplicate the layer, this layer. So let me click Ctrl+ what? Do you remember the shortcut Ctrl+J to duplicate the layer? So 1, 2. So we have duplicated this layer. So layer 1, layer 2, and then layer 3. So let me move it out. So let me do this. Let me first of all click on the Ctrl+T to bring the transform tool, and then let me make it, let me change the display here, and then perhaps let me reduce the size. So the size, let me reduce it to something like this one. Also this one, let me do it. Let me change the let me rotate it. So to rotate, actually you ensure that this layer is selected. Ensure that the layer that you want to design is selected, and then you do what? You click on Ctrl+T to bring the transform tool, and then I'm going to make it, I'm going to make it how? I'm going to make it, rotate. I'm going to rotate the image, and then I do what? And then let me add it here. Let me add it here. So let me ensure that it is here. Let me just add it there. This one is somewhere big, so let me try to reduce it to I think this one is perfect. And then guys, now I want us to make this image to be on top of each other. So let me drag it to the top, to the very top, and then let me just place it there so that it may overlap all our design. So then let me click on Ctrl+T to bring the transform tool, and then I resize it further. And then with these images selected, so you can drag it to, I think, or let it be this position. Also this one, let it be how. So this other one, let's rotate it so that it may be like this other one. So I click on Ctrl+T to bring the transform tool, and then let's rotate it further so that it may be like the other one. And then let me try to do it. Let me try to let me try to do it. Let me try to drag it so that it may be at this position. So I think this one is perfect. Yes, I'm going to type here something here. I'm going to type here text. So like let me go to the type tool here, and then let me do it. Let me type here congratulations. So let me select all first of all, and then let me say congratulations, and then let me select all, and then do it. Let me click on this fonts that let me choose this font, and then I do it. Let me reduce this length. Let me make it 100%. Let me make it 100%. 100%. Then the height, perhaps let it, I think let it remain the way it is. Then let me increase the font size. Increase the font size. So congratulations. And then let me make the text to be, first of all, let me reduce the size first of all, and then let me make the text to be white. Let me choose a whiter color. So F, and then I do it. You can add also a drop shadow here. You can add a drop shadow. Like let's choose what, light blue. The color, let me choose a light blue. I always like light blue, I don't know why. So let me just select a light blue color, and then I do it. The size. So the size. So first of all, ensure that you are in the normal mode, and then I do it. Opacity is 100. Then the distance, the spread, I think it's perfect. Then the size, I think this size is perfect for me. And then here let me say congratulations. Then here I'm going to say what, let me say Abigail. Congratulations Abigail, or any name, you can give it any name, but let me say Abigail, or whichever name. And then I do it, resize the font, and then I do it. I think this design is perfect. The font type, let me give it this one, impact, and then I want us to add what, the bevel and emboss. So let me click on the bevel and emboss, and then the technique here, I'm going to change it to chisel hard. And then guys, I think this one is perfect. Let me try to reduce what, the size. Let me reduce the size, and then I think guys, this one is perfect for me. Then I click OK. Once you feel that it's perfect, then now you can do it. You can export your design. To export it, you just go to the file here, to the file, then you go to the export, then I export as. Once it's open, then I click on the file format that you want, then I click transparency, then I do it, click on export here, I click on export, and then I do it, go to the downloads, then I'm going to place it where I'm going to place it at the outputs. Then let me just do it, let me just save it there. And then guys, I want us to end this video here. But I guess let's view what we've designed. So basically this is the Instagram post, and then also we designed the flyer 2 here, and then we also have the flyer 1. We have the flyer 1, we also have the lost boy here. Actually we have the flyer 1, and then we also have flyer 2, then we have Instagram post, and what else? So I guess these are the designs that we've worked on for today. But guys, I think you've gained something. So if you find that the video has been of help to you, please consider subscribing, and you can also share to your friends so that he or she too may grab some free skills here. So guys, until next time, goodbye.